Hey, what's happening? What's happening? Listen, I'm back here working on the building where I normally record some of this stuff at, and I just, excuse me, I was just thinking about something that really gets on my nerves. It really does, and it was on my mind today because I had just watched a little something about it, maybe last night or yesterday at some point, and that is microtransactions in games that we pay for. I'm not talking about the free to play model where microtransactions actually keep the game alive, right? Make a ton of money for the developers and or the publishers. And that's how you play the game, though. You get the game for free, and then you pay for things within the game. How fair or not fair that is depends upon each developer in the game, I suppose, right? But what I'm talking about is microtransactions in games that we drop $60 for, and I don't think the way that it's being practiced or the way that it's being used, at least in most cases, is just not fair, right? It's not cool. Let's put it like that, right? It's very simple. It's not cool. I'm not against microtransactions, not at all. Even in a pay to play game, if the microtransactions are literally cool and they can enhance the game beyond what the actual game already is. And I mean what the actual game is, the game already is, what I mean is that everything is included in the game. You can earn and do everything that you could get otherwise. What I hate the most about the microtransactions in your pay to play games is that there seems like this trend. They are kind of locking some of the cooler stuff of the game. They're locking it off. So after you drop $60 on the game, then you got to go drop another 10, 20. Maybe it's going to save you a bunch of time on leveling up. Maybe it's going to save you a bunch of time on the particular gear that you want. Certain things, though, some games, I'm not naming anything specific at this point. You all know what I'm talking about and what games there may be. They lock an actual part of the game out. So I have gotten to a specific level with a certain number of characters. If I want to actually experience the full game, I need to drop another $10 on it. And then that becomes digital content, so that it has to be downloaded, and then it's pointless. It's aggravating. It makes me sick because these companies are exploiting their their microtransaction system. I want to drop 60 on the game and have it be done. The game is finished. The game is ready. I can do everything in that game, and I can find everything, and I can go everywhere in that game. Everything that's available. DLC, on the other hand, when done right, DLC, I'm a fan of it. A game that I'm currently playing right now is Xenoblade Chronicles 2 Torna, right? The DLC, which is actually can work as its standalone game. So I picked up Xenoblade Chronicles quite a while back. I haven't had the time to play it and mess with it because I know it's a game that you really have to get involved in. So when I seen that the DLC popped out for it and everything takes place ahead of the story, multiple years ahead of the story in Xenoblade Chronicles 2, I decided to go ahead and play the add-on first, since it does stand as a standalone game. So I get a feel for it, things that are happening in the past, and then I can go on and play the actual Xenoblade Chronicles 2, see how that goes. So there's a prime example of when DLC is done right, it's amazing, right? So I felt like I dropped $30. I didn't spend the $40 and get just the DLC. I went on and spent the $30 instead, which is $10 cheaper. And it came with all of the stuff that goes along with Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Now, I don't know if you download the DLC alone, does it come with everything that, the Torna, if you download that, does it come with everything else that'll kind of enhance Xenoblade Chronicles 2? I don't know. What I do know is that when you go into the eShop and you search, you can find it for $30 instead of the $40, and you get everything. Of course, that's the one I bought, right? Since it's digital anyway, you're not getting anything special for it. Well, anyway, when these companies are using their DLC to lock out content in the game that should be available from day one, because you know it's on the disc, or it comes with the information needed on the disc for it to become unlocked, for you to be able to use it only after you drop 10, 20, and then maybe 5 more, and then a couple more, and then this and that. If you don't like playing a game for the challenge, if you don't want to put the time into playing the game, don't waste your money on the game. I mean, everybody has their own way, so I'm not going to sit here on the soapbox and say, if you don't like to play a game a certain way, then don't play the game. Of course, I'm not going to say that. We all have our own way of doing it. Excuse me, once again, sorry. So, like I said, if you want to drop $60 plus tax on a game, and then you want to go drop another $50 on that same exact game to get content that you should have already been able to get, go for it. Why not? It's what keeps the system going. This is why they keep coming back. This is why they keep locking more and more out of a game. This is why they keep wanting us to pay a little bit more, to pay a little bit more, to have a little bit more from the game that we've already bought. One other thing that really, maybe it gets on my nerves because I don't fully understand it because I haven't tried to understand it. But that is paying $60 for a full version of a game digitally. So if I'm going to go and drop $60 on the physical version, which takes money, time, and resources to make the physical disc, box, art, so on and so forth, right? Why should we have to pay the full price if we're not getting any of that physical stuff with it? If we're only getting a digital copy, if we're only getting a code that lets us download this game onto our own personal hard drive, you're not getting the box, you're not getting the disc, you're not getting the artwork on the cover. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. You might be able to see some of the artwork digitally. You get a digital art book and all this other stuff. But they're not paying money, the companies are not paying money to have these things printed up, so it's not an expense to them. Why? What do I misunderstand? Why are we paying full price for just a digital copy of the game? Another thing that I see that is ridiculous, the new Nintendo bundle that's coming out with Diablo 3. Now, I'm going to buy Diablo 3 for my Switch, for sure. I'll drop $60 on that in a heartbeat, no problem. For a physical copy, I'm gonna go pick it up. I have a lot of games. Don't let me talk too much. I have a lot of games that are digital. Do I like doing digital? No, I really don't. As much as I want to argue against it, I know that seems to be the way things are going, and that's the way it is. Back to the point. The Diablo bundle that's coming out is the same price as if you buy the system and the game separately. You get, I think you get like a carrying case. It's like the only real extra thing that comes in there. But you don't get the physical game. You get a digital copy. So you get a code or whatever it may be for you to go ahead and download that. That is so ridiculous. Why am I dropping $60 and then I'm going to go download it anyway? Why would I do that? That's just... I'm gonna sit here and say, why would I do that? But there are a couple of games that I have done that. Maybe because I wanted that game and I just didn't have time to get out somewhere to get that game on that particular release day. So I go ahead and download it, and then it's kind of ready by the time the evening I get in, and I can go ahead and get my game on a little bit. The game is waiting for me, which otherwise I wouldn't have been able to get it until whatever days later. Anyway, this is just a small rant. I mainly wanted to talk about. I really just wanted to talk about the microtransactions in games and the direction that they're going. I know I kind of deviated a little bit, but there are other things within the industry that also piss me off. So anyway, talk to you guys next time.